My name is Mimi Mwasame, and I'm the lead offshore stakeholder engagement manager at SSEN Transmission, where I manage a team of stakeholder managers working on major offshore projects like the Western Isles, Orkney, Shetlands, and the Eastern Green Link subsea high voltage links between Peterhead and England. My role is about building trusted relationships with communities, government bodies, and industry partners, making sure that we listen and address concerns and create local opportunities while delivering projects vital to the UK net zero projects.
Thank you very much. And could you please walk us through your educational background?
Yes, so I do have an undergraduate in travel and tourism because when I was young, I wanted to travel and tour the world. So I thought travel and tourism would give me the avenue to accomplish that dream.
Mhm.
However, unfortunately, I quickly learned that my job would be to create tour packages for people behind a desk. So that was not what I wanted. Therefore, I went into working with WWF in the Masai Mara in Kenya.
Mhm.
I worked there for a while. Then we had post-election violence where I reevaluated my goals and I wanted to do more in terms of helping people to learn more about the issues affecting them. Therefore, I
Mhm.
came to the University of Aberdeen to do my master's in international relations and politics.
Yeah, interesting. That's what I'm studying, but for undergraduate degree. So what are some of your favorite memories from Aberdeen? Maybe from like social life.
Oh yeah. Oh, my some of my favorite moments they're quite simple, I would say. I loved going to the beach. I would
Mhm.
love the fact that Aberdeen is central to exploring Aberdeenshire, and Aberdeenshire has the castles, has the whiskey distilleries. I
Yeah.
really love that. I loved coming from Kenya and I lived in Nairobi and coming to the university and walking through cobbled roads. It was like a step back into the past, looking at photos of Aberdeen from the past and currently there's very few changes. So it was
Mhm.
just beautiful. The nightlife, of course, was awesome
Yeah.
and shopping was always amazing.
Nice, nice. And so, did you enjoy your course? What are some of the maybe things you do you use the knowledge you learned from your course in your current role?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love the fact that the course exposed me to international conflict, whereby I was able to see the issues that we faced, especially during the post-election violence. When extrapolated and you look at it in a bigger picture, you
Yeah.
can actually see it happening in between countries, especially right now as you're seeing conflict and wars between countries. I learned how to be a mediator, and I used that when I started my first job with Aberdeen Council Voluntary Organization.
Uh,
And I was also seconded to the Aberdeen um, Social Enterprise Network, where I had to mediate the relationship between ASEN, Aberdeen Social Enterprise Network, and ACVO, Aberdeen Council Voluntary Organization, and Aberdeen City Council.
yeah.
So therefore, the lessons I learned, I was able to practice them in real life. I was able to look at situation whether externally or internally and how to work them and find a middle ground, probably towards having a memorandum of understanding regardless of any situation. So yes, everything I learned in school, I was able to utilize it and I'm still utilizing it up until now.
Nice. And what would you say was the proudest moment in your career?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't say the proudest moment of my career because I don't think I've reached the peak of my career.
Yeah,
I
of course.
think there's still more I can achieve. However, I would say it was a great choice for me to learn about international relations and politics because
Mm.
I've been able to work in different industries. So I've worked in the third sector, that's working with social enterprises and charities. I've worked in the public sector where I was able to work with Aberdeen City Council and community planning partnerships. I've worked in the private sector. I'm still now in the private sector where I'm working. I've worked in energy from waste. I've
Hmm.
worked in offshore wind, that's a generation, and now I'm working in transmission. So
Yeah.
looking at my journey, I've been able to work in different industries, and all these industries, no matter what they're doing, I'm able to apply the lessons I've learned and my
Mm.
experiences to date. So I think that was a great choice or
Yeah.
a personal move that has been helpful to me from travel and tourism into international relations.
Yeah. Interesting. And how does your typical day looks like? What do you do?
Oh, right. So my typical day is quite different. Every day comes with its own
Mhm.
energies, and every industry is very different. So I would start with the third sector. The typical day would mean that I would work with social
Mhm.
enterprises and charities, either helping them find funding, write business plan, come up with
Yeah.
ways in which they can improve their organization, how they can apply even better, how they can appeal to more people.
Mhm.
When I moved into energy from waste, that one was very controversial within the UK because a lot of people still do not understand how energy comes from waste, how we
Mhm.
burn waste to generate electricity and heat. And there's a lot of misconception,
Yeah.
although based on prior facts, whereby the industry did pollute a lot. But right now, with technological advancements, people still think that energy from waste is a big contributor to pollution. So there are a lot of resistance. So my day would either I would come in and find a lot of complaints about smell, about
Mhm.
noise, about pollution, and some of them were substantiated, some of them were just wrong, some of them were rumor mongering. So it's also quite different. I would have a very calm day, and the next day to be very turbulent. I would find some people chained on the gates in the company.
Mhm.
So very different. And while I was in offshore wind, one day I'm in the office, the next day I have visitors that were going to the offshore wind farm. So I'm on a boat somewhere wearing helmets
Yeah.
and gears. I worked in construction a little bit where I had to learn all about civil engineering and electrical engineering. So, as a stakeholder manager, your job is to learn what the company does and be able to talk confidently about it. So, day to day, we learn, we talk, we network, we ensure that the company is represented in the best light in public.
Mhm. Interesting. Very interesting. And what trends in corporate social responsibility do you see? Do you think companies need to pay closer attention to in the coming years?
I think AI is a very big factor. So we do a lot of consultations at the moment, and we find that people are using AI negatively at the moment to generate concerns that are not actually reflected within the community. They're using AI to generate forms to show that in a community which has 10,000 people, 15,000 have submitted complaints, for example. So AI is one aspect of engagement that needs to be embraced so that we are able um, to, to monitor progress about it, that
Mm.
we are able to hold it accountable to what we're getting. Social media, 10 years ago, you wouldn't hear of a social media manager, but right now
Yeah.
companies are actually hiring people to be social media managers just because it's where you can get an audience. There are more people with more younger people within audiences. I think these are trends that, if embraced, can be very useful in terms of community engagement, stakeholder engagement, public relation, corporate social responsibility,
Mhm.
however you want to look at it. And if neglected, could be a downfall for a project and might cost projects millions of pounds.
Very interesting. Thank you. And what advice do you have for students who are looking to get into stakeholder engagement, public affairs, or corporate relations?
Um, I would say be bold. Our jobs are about speaking to people and creating opportunities for organizations to speak about their projects. So we do a lot of advocacy work, we do a lot of public relations work, we do a lot of media. Um, be bold, be assertive, be a good researcher. It's very important to note that you shouldn't give a false information if you don't know something.
Yeah.
It's better to say you don't know than to lie, because the lie might catch up to you. The internet never forgets. That's a very important lesson a lot of people have learned. Um, network, be be outgoing. Unfortunately, as an introvert, it's very difficult to socialize, so you might struggle in this space. So therefore, you need to be outgoing, you need to be out there talking to people, and you need to be patient because you're building relationships, and relationships take time to build trust in order to get to where you want to go. Um, Once you've made a connection, follow up genuinely. Do not be too much, but also don't forget it. Remember, it's a give and take society. So, what are you looking to gain from this relationship, and what can you give towards that relationship? And be persevering no matter what. It is a field that a lot of people are hoping to enter. So you might get a lot of job rejections, you might get a lot of difficult interviews, but just remember there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow marks an opportunity to try even more. So
Yeah,
don't give up.
that's a great advice. Thank you. And are there any books or podcasts you would recommend for our students?
Um, I, there's some podcasts that I like, um, but at the moment, I would say I love anything to do with sustainability and energy, and anything that would talk about stakeholder relationship in capitalism. So I would recommend Stakeholder Capitalism by Klaus Schwab. It's great for understanding how business can deliver value beyond profit. And it's one of those reasons why we look at businesses, and previously people used to hate businesses coming into regions because they thought that they were just there to take, 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 take. But you can see how even if you're making profit, a community can benefit. So you can have social value added into it. What types of social value can be grateful? It also helps to analyze stakeholder matrices. So you're able to analyze your
Mhm.
stakeholders and the needs that they need. So it's not about a company going into the community and saying this is what they can do, but it's a company going into the community and asking them, what can we do? What do you need? And how can we help? And internalizing that within the company so that it becomes a core value and not a tick box exercise. I think that's really good. I think I love the Energy Gang. That's an excellent um, podcast for staying on top of renewable energy. Renewable energy right now is the is the it industry. It's sustainable. It's long term. If you're interested in renewable energy, listen to it. You might get ideas into various ways to get in the challenges and opportunities and the success, or maybe, for example, opportunities missed.
Interesting. Thank you so much. And the last question is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would say that there's a better tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, no matter what, there's a better tomorrow, and to enjoy each day as it comes and not focus so much on what tomorrow holds. Use the moment to enjoy what I have in front of me, enjoy the relationships in front of me, make better choices in terms of friends, probably that I hang out with, make sure that I'm with like-minded people, be bold enough to talk to my lecturers and even my mentors about what I'm struggling with, um what my hopes and dreams are, because they were once where I was, if that's possible.
Hmm.
So, for example, taking you, there's someone who was there. I used to be where you were a couple of years ago. And I know the challenges that happen at that particular moment. To young girls, I'd like to say that um, be bold enough to pursue that field that is male dominated. Don't be shy. Just go at it. You never know. You never know. You could be the first young woman to break the barrier, but there are other women who have already broken that barrier. And for and vice versa, for young men feeling that their fields which are predominantly female dominated, there's
Mhm.
nothing like that. Work has no gender. Determination has no gender.
Yeah.
Just focus on living the moment and trusting the right people.